noise over there at the back.
It's okay.
So thank you, brothers and sisters. Are you blessed with the songs?
Amen.
I was so blessed. What I was saying, I can feel, my connection to God as I pray, blessed as I sing. So I think, brothers and sisters, this is the proper way of worshiping God. In this way, we communicate with God with our heart, through the songs. Amen?
Amen.
So today, I'm so blessed again. So how's everybody? How's everyone? Good? So once again, I will be the one to give you a message today. And I'm so blessed because once again, God is using me as a channel of His blessing to all of us, including me. Because when we give the message, the Word of God, while we are studying the message the night before, we also learn. And in this message that I will give you tonight, brothers and sisters, I learned a lot. So this message that I will give today is more on like a story. A story because, there's a lot of stories in the Bible, right? So it will be like a storytelling kind of message. When I was a kid, I like stories. My mom used to tell me stories. And today, the title of my message is From Tragedy to Triumph. Because in this story, it's like, it seems like everything is over, like there's no more hope. It's just a discouragement, but lo and behold, something happened. A miracle happened. Something that's supposed to be a tragedy turned out to be a blessing. So isn't that wonderful, brothers and sisters? So did it happen to you? That sometimes you thought it was a tragedy, but actually it was a way for God to bless you. You just don't know it, but it looks like a tragedy, but it isn't. And the Bible verse that we will study today is in 1 Samuel chapter 30, the whole chapter of chapter 30. And I will just give you a background before we read the verses. This happened, like before this happened, 1 Samuel chapter 30, there was if you read the previous chapter, there was a battle that is going on. And David was preparing to battle the Israelites. You might be surprised, how come David, who became the king of Israel, will fight for the Philistines? Why? Why could that happen? Brothers and sisters, we already know the story of David, right? Maybe I don't have to narrate so much about his life. And David is one of the personalities who is mostly told in the Bible. And we can learn a lot from his story. So we all know about him, right? He's a shepherd boy. And then he plays the harp. And he got so talented that when King Saul was looking for somebody to play the harp, they found David, a shepherd boy. But what's amazing about David is he plays the harp. But he doesn't just play the harp. He's a skilled musician. When you have a skill, as the Bible said, if you have a skill, something that is very skilled or something, you don't stand before ordinary people, but you stand in front of kings, right? And this is what happened to David. He was so skilled that he became so famous that when the kingdom was looking for a musician, they found David. He was a famous musician. So Well, let's look around here. Maybe some of our musicians will become very skillful, right? So me, I only know how to play. But I think siguro compare natin si David. He's a musician who can play the instrument without even looking at the chords, right? We always look for the chord, and sometimes we're out of tune, right? Out of beat, but he's very skillful. And by destiny, he became one of the, he works for the king. And because of God's so much blessing of God to him, he became a famous warrior. You know about David and Goliath, right?
Yeah.
So you already know about that. No need to give the details, right? But after that, when he became a servant of the king, he was so famous that he became a great warrior, a great commander. And you know, one time they were, when after the battle, they were singing, they were, making a feast, celebrating David's victory. And the people were saying, Saul killed his thousands and David his tens of thousands. So when the king heard that, he got mad because the people are now looking at him more than me. I'm the king. So he thought that maybe later on this David will become, will overtake him and become the king. So he became jealous, and one time he was in the palace, and he came to a point where he wanted to kill the king, and he threw a javelin to David, and David ducked and escaped. So he became a rebel. He became a rebel. He was hiding from the king, but the king is all over looking for him. That's why if you see here, brothers and sisters, the reason why he was with the Philistines is that because the Philistines took him. He said, "Okay, join us," because they are fighting the Israelites. However, when they were about to fight, the Philistines and David prepare for battle against the Israelites. Can you imagine David? Did you know that David comes to a time where he will almost fought the Israelites? Kumbaga yung mga kadugo niya, magiging kalaban niya. His own flesh and blood will be his enemies in the battle. But however, some of Achish, if you read the whole chapter of 1 Samuel 29, some of Achish's men don't believe David is on their side. They distrust him. So they become distrustful of David. And so that in order to appease these commanders, the king of the Philistines, Achish, tells David that he and his men aren't allowed to fight in the battle against the Israelites. Sabi niya, wag na lang, just retreat, don't join us. But probably, brothers and sisters, it was the hand of God who did this, that God doesn't want his own people to, destroy each other, right? Because we know that David is a warrior. He every time he goes into the battle, he always wins. And so here, brothers and sisters, in chapter 30 is the one that we will study today. So, if I could ask one sister or brother to read the verse in 1 Samuel chapter 30, the whole chapter. Sister, just can you read? So you have your Bibles, brothers and sisters. Let's us all stand and let us read the whole chapter of Samuel chapter 30.
1 Samuel chapter 30. David destroyed the Amalekites. David and his men reached Siklag on the third day.
Now the Amalekites had raided the Negev and Siklag. They had attacked Siklag and burned it, and had taken captive the women and all who were in it, both young and old. They killed none of them, but carried them off as they went on their way. When David and his men came to Siklag, they found it destroyed by fire and their wives and sons and daughters taken captive. So David and his men wept alone until they had no strength left to weep. David's two wives had been captured, Ahinoam of Jezreel and Abigail, the widow of Nabal of Carmel. David was greatly distressed because the men were talking of stoning him. Each one was bitter in spirit because of his sons and daughters. But David found strength in the Lord his God. Then David said to Abiathar the priest, the son of Ahimelech, "Bring me the ephod." Abiathar brought it to him, and David inquired of the Lord, "Shall I pursue this raiding party? Will I overtake them?" "Pursue them," he answered. "You will certainly overtake them and succeed in the rescue." David and the 600 men with him came to the Besarabim, where some stayed behind. For 200 men were too exhausted to cross the river. But David and 400 men continued in pursuit. They found an Egyptian in a field and brought him to David. They gave him water to drink and food to eat, part of a cake of pressed figs and 2 cakes of raisins. He ate and was revived, for he had not eaten any food or drunk any water for 3 days and 3 nights. David asked him, "To whom do you belong, and where do you come from?" He said, "I am an Egyptian, the slave of an Amalekite. My master abandoned me when I became ill 3 days ago. We raided the Negev of the Kerethites and the territory belonging to Judah and the Negev of Caleb, and we burned Siklag." David asked him, "Can you lead me down to this raiding party?" He answered, "Swear to me before God that you will not kill me or hand me over to my master, and I will take you down to them." He led David down, and there they were scattered over the countryside, eating, drinking, and reveling because of the great amount of plunder they had taken from the land of the Philistines and from Judah. David fought them from dusk until the evening of the next day, and none of them got away, except 400 young men who rode off on camels and fled. David recovered everything the Amalekites had taken, including his 2 wives. Nothing was missing, young or old, boy or girl, plunder or anything else they had taken. David brought everything back. He took all the flocks and herds, and his men drove them ahead of the other livestock, saying, "This is David's plunder." Then David came to the 200 men who had been too exhausted to follow him, and who were left behind at the Besarabim. They came out to meet David and the people with him. As David's men approached, he greeted them, but all the evil men and troublemaker among David's followers said, "Because they did not go out with us, we will not share with them the plunder we recovered. However, each man may take his wife and children and go." David replied, "No, my brothers, you must not do that. With that the Lord has given us. He has protected us and handed over to us the forces that came against us. Who will listen to what you say?" The share of the man who stayed with the supplies is to be the same as that of him who went down to the battle. All we share alike. David made this statute and ordinance for Israel from that day to this. When David arrived in Siklag, he sent some of the plunder to the elders of Judah, who were his friends, saying, "Here is a present for you from the plunder of the Lord's enemies." He sent it to those who were in Bethel, Ramoth, Negev, and Jattir, to those in Arthur, Sipmoth, Etomoa, and Rakal, to those in the towns of the Jerahmeelites and the Kenites, to those in Hormah, Bor, Ashan, Atak, and Hebron, and to those in all the other places where David and his men had gone. Amen.
Thank you, sister. Let us bow our heads.